Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 106, 2 years down. Um, it's hard to believe that I've been doing this for 2 years. 2 years to the day. I got home on a Monday night, had a rough day at work. Hadn't been doing the live stream on the other channel for a while and decided, you know what? I'm just going to see what happens. And 2 years later, here we are, 106 episodes. Actually, more than 106 live episodes. I think I'm probably close to about 120, 125 total live episodes between live gameplay and then just, extra stuff, etc. and so forth. So here we are. Charles was here first at 7:38. Meandering Mike, who has joined us this evening. Say hello to everybody, Mike. And then, of course, we got the Hissy Cat with us. So I've got, isn't it two turntables and a mic? I got two mics and a, oh, well.
Two turntables and a microphone.
Yeah. We got Reese in the house, third, elementary nerd. Chris says, welcome to the fourth dimension. Face blue, wide eyes. Gordon says, hey,
do you get that third and then fourth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, we're no longer toddlers. So Bunkhouse is in the house, evening all. And Charles says, yep, they grow up so fast. So the first question that his cat had when he came on was, what's with the cotton? And I will give 1,000 fake internet points to the first person that can tell me why I have cotton as my background. And while y'all are thinking and ruminating on that, no, the Terrible Twos. Oh man, I've been in the Terrible Twos since way back. We're only going to get better though, right? So, real quickly, we're gonna do gotta do my normal stuff. Go check out the March to Victory at marchtovictory.net. We got some good news either earlier today or yesterday. I can't remember which, but the McMurray got his dates wrong for the wedding that he's supposed to be in. He thought it was supposed to be Saturday night. It's not. It's Friday night. So he's gonna miss March to Victory Friday night, but he'll be there Saturday. And here, in fact, speaking of the devil, here he is, McMurray.
What's going on, guys? Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. We're just mentioning that you are not going to be at March to Victory Friday night, but instead Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, so big ship game Saturday night, not Friday night, which is good. It means I get to be there for more of it.
Outstanding. Glad to hear that.
So I just noticed we have Meandering Mike, MM, McMurray, MM, and my initials are MM.
Yeah. We got not J and the M&Ms.
It's a pop band. It's a boy band. That's that's for sure.
I still think the best group for a prog rock / punk band, prog punk, is Big Beef and the Moaning Bovines.
Yeah, maybe in Texas that'll go over.
I still like Tricky Dick and the Gonads, but that's just me.
Tricky Dick and the Gonads? There you go.
Well, that's where my Scratch Kitty comes from. That would have been my punk name.
Scratch Kitty?
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see here. Gordon's in the house because there's cotton back there. Yes, there is cotton back there, but why is there cotton? There's the question. You're gonna only play ACW? No, God, no. That's not it. Reese says at least it's not his wedding. Well, there is that. And that may never happen. If he wants it to happen, I hope it does, but who knows? Chris says, for anyone having a hard time like me writing out your postcard jam rules, I suggest talking them out and recording it, then transcribing it. That's a good thought. There's always one who is late for class consistently.
That's me.
Nerd Workshop in the house. Happy to your anniversary, guys. Thank you. McMurray and the old fart sounds better. Warmut, if you got time to text, you got time to get in here.
Yeah, and join the ranks of the old farts, the old fart.
Hit song, We Game by the River. Nice. That's what the guy said when he came to pick up your car in Austin. So, all right. First off, we got 14 watching. We just had 15. We've got 14 now, and I want to thank each and every one of you for being here instead of over at the war room. Now, if y'all are watching both at the same time, that's cool too, whichever. Speaking of which, those guys are supposed to be with us next week. So this time next week, including Ruff, they're going to be here with us. So you'll be watching Space 1999's episode Guardian of Piri, which is why you have the cotton balls. Nope. But again, check out marchtofvictory.net. We got a lot of great stuff going on. I just got my invoice for my half-page ad, so I'll be.
I got to do that.
I gotta ship my cash off to Jay Wiley and Robin.
Doug, can we still put those in? Because I still want to put in the one I had last year. I don't think Jay thought I was serious, which is completely understandable given the content of that ad. But
right, so contact, just get a hold of Jay, or get a hold of Robin, and say, hey, this is what I want to do. We should still have time. Warmut says, don't have time. Grats on sticking around for 2 years. Mandarin Mike will improve the show.
Did you say grandson is sticking around for 2 years?
Grats on sticking around.
I thought he had suddenly gained a whole lot more custody than he originally intended.
Right. Nerd Workshop says, I feel sorry for you guys next week. Could be worse.
They beat him
We
up.
could have Warmut on here.
We should have Warmut on here.
We should, but he doesn't.
Warmut's a wonderful person.
Oh, I love Warmut. He's a great guy. He's a great addition. Alistair Logie says, oh my God, Mike, is that the show? Lordy. Congrats. Thank you. And Elroy just subscribed. Thank you, sir. That should put me at 331, right?
Oh, baby.
Thomas Foss.
Oh,
hello,
you baby.
Sir.
Oh, man.
Ahoy, boys.
Thomas,
we are going to have Thomas on the show in the next couple of weeks.
Boner jams.
He's
up boner jams.
Yeah.
Thomas, I am about to place an order either tonight or tomorrow for some skeleton or for some rabbits. If I could can I put that in the notes to just collect it at March to Victory?
Probably so.
I mean, I figured I probably could, but I wanted to make sure with the boss before.
Ding, 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 ding. Reese gets the 1,000 fake points. The second anniversary is the cotton anniversary.
Oh.
So there you go, Reese. You'll be able to collect your fake 1,000 points at March to Victory.
I think it's the turkey-versary if it's Reese, isn't it?
Well,
yeah. Everything that boy do just
immediately cotton turkeys. Cotton turkeys.
Those cotton picking turkeys and stuff.
Let's see here. Jeffrey Edwards says, congrats, guys, for 2 years. Hope everyone is well. We're doing great. He wants to know what you're building. What Tim D wants to know what's going on.
What? You talking to me?
Tim D, yeah.
The random dude with power tools going? Okay, so I'm ugly. Just a sec. So these I'm building. Made myself a little jig right here. Real easy, so I know where to place the under cap. Basically what these are, guys, because the ships are so big that we're playing with at March to Victory, they each are going to have their own stand that is going to stand up off the floor right about 3.5 foot up.
All right.
So you can have a bunch of ships. They are going to be connected to these bad boys, which are big chunks of heavy 2x8. The 60 degrees on these guys and the 45 degrees on these guys. Battleships can rotate 45 degrees. Armored cruisers and stuff can rotate up to 60 degrees per turn. But you can see where I got those there. Flange goes on top. That gets secured. Length of PVC to this bad boy, which is the underside of this guy, which I just roughed off a bunch of these caps. They're going to get epoxied in there so that we can take the whole thing apart for transport. But so you'll have this thing, 3-foot section of PVC. This gets flipped over on top of it. Boat goes on top. Now, you can see these two guys immediately on either side of these two screws, which are exactly two inches apart. I'm going to put I think it's 1/8 inch hole, 1/4 inch hole to epoxy in a rare earth magnet. And that rare earth magnet will correspond to 2 plates, 2 very small 3/4 inch steel strike plates that are glued onto the bottom of each of the ships so that the ship can sit there on rare earth magnets and then can be removed for transport.
Nice.
But yeah, so we're just doing final assembly on all these, and then actually all I'll need to do is I'm going to spray paint this chunk and the PVC pipe black. The underside of this is going to be black. The top surface is going to be spray painted blue and then done up with stippling blue to simulate ocean and then a wake, just like you've seen on my smaller ships.
Nice.
Cool.
So that's what we're building.
So in answer to your question, to Thomas, he says, yeah, he's bringing stock to the show. Get your order in.
Oh, okay. Outstanding. Cool.
Um,
And then make sure you bring some of those triremes. I've been itching and scratching for a while now.
yeah. Alstar wants to know, Mike, are you planning on cooking demonstrations tonight?
No cooking. Just maybe unboxing some boxes of minis.
I'm the
there you go.
weirdo that usually cooks on here. That's awesome. I'm happy somebody else is into that stuff.
Charles wants to know if you're ready for the freeze warning tonight, Hissy.
You know what? I saw that on my computer. So, yeah. It's going to be cold.
Mutt's back to watching TV with the wife. I'll be good. Maybe I'll check in another hour from now.
I'm good.
So for your second
Excuse
anniversary
me.
with your wife, you should give her cotton balls. Yes, you should. Yeah, Chris Nguyen wants to make sure that you're not practicing dentistry.
Absolutely. Only in my spare time.
Right. Reese says, just got promoted to shooter, so instead of hurting turkeys, he'll be screwing them.
You say screwing them?
Yeah, well, he'll be the inseminator.
I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. That's fucked. Sorry. I told myself I wasn't going to curse on the air tonight, but Jesus. Good luck, Reese. Bye.
See,
Mike,
now
how
we
are
need to.
you doing?
What's that?
I asked Mike how he's doing since literally any conversation will be better than our current conversation.
So Telemachus says, greetings all. Nguyen says, hi, Tim D. Gordon says, pretty cool, McMurray. It is very cool. Tim D responds back to Ningguaya. Hello. Is McMurray doing airships? No, what he's doing is he's doing the 1/600 scale.
1/600 scale pre-dreadnoughts.
Yeah, 1/600 pre-dreadnoughts.
Even though there's actually only going to be really kind of two. Well, there's going to be kind of like neither of them are really true pre-dreadnoughts. The two battleships that are Pelayo, the Spanish battleship, and the USS Texas, because I had to give Chris just an irrational boner. But other than that,
dude, I'm going to be lightheaded all weekend.
Yeah, on the U.S. side, in addition to the Texas, you've got the Olympia, the Brooklyn, and the New York. And then on the Spanish side, we're going to have the Lepanto, Cristobal Colon, and Emperador Carlos V. Okay, so we're going to have – hey, what's up? Hey, look at that guy. So we're going to talk about boats now a little bit more. So yeah, we'll have basically two battleships, one on each side. Even though while Pelayo is 100% an actual battleship, Texas is kind of a second-rate battleship / gratuitously large armored cruiser, maybe. Although it's really not even that large compared to most armored cruisers. Like compared to Brooklyn or even Emperor Carlos V. Emperador Carlos V is easily the largest ship that's going to be out there. It's a cool-looking model. But, yeah, so anyways, so we've got kind of the gamut in terms of sizes on each side. And that should be pretty fun. That being said, I'm only running that Saturday night. If you guys have a specific game that you've seen me run in the last year or so, by all means holler, and I'll see if I'm sure that Jay and Robin are able to accommodate one more game. So if somebody wants to play some Victorian sci-fi stuff who's going to be up there, holler, and we'll get that figured out. I'm sure I can make it happen.
Oh, absolutely. We got Jester in the house. Howdy, Jester. If I'm not mistaken, I made the announcement, and if I'm not mistaken, you and Ruff and Tony will be here next Wednesday. Hexy has joined us. How you doing, sir?
We're still kicking.
Outstanding.
Jeffy, I'm so just unspeakably happy to see you, buddy. Anytime I can see that pretty face, it makes my day better.
I knew a week or so ago you weren't feeling right as rain. I hope you're better.
Still just grinding out work. Matter of fact, the girl that I'm training with for the last 3 weeks is from San Diego, lives up there above the reserve zoo park thingy or whatever. That's Candido or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was hollering about the weather too. She was talking about the weather today.
Yeah, it's cold. Cold and rainy.
So I heard you got snow in the mountains and rain on the plains, right?
Yep. Yeah, one of my employees got snowed out for a day.
Wow.
But she's up in Redding, Red Bluff, so that's way up north.
Okay, so here's the confirmation right here. Jester says we're planning on being there next week. So.
Hey, that's my week off.
Oh, so I need to be out of town, right?
Yeah.
Y'all do you. Holy crap, now watching on my cell phone, silent mode, and then this dude pops up. Hexy, I love you, man.
Love you too, Brian.
I think the most important thing everybody needs to remember is that everyone's just ridiculously happy Jeff's here.
Yeah, absolutely. Charles says, Master of Hexes, we salute you.
That's what's up.
Tim says, first snow last night, second snow of the year, Friday. It's crazy. So.
Ball sack. Ooh, never mind. I apologize. That was wholly inappropriate.
So
I split something. My apologies, guys.
That's okay. Hexy.
I'm here.
I'm wrapping up Nimitz here this next week or so. And I'm pulling out the U.S. Civil War back out.
Okay.
You played Nimitz? How far did you get in Nimitz? I didn't realize you were playing that.
Yeah, I've got about a turn, or got 2.5 turns in right now. I'm getting it figured out.
I didn't know that at all. That's awesome. Look at you.
Yeah. And then, like I said, I'm I'm going to pull the U.S. Civil War back out, and fingers crossed, I'll be able to figure it out this time.
Well, I will gladly assist you through the that what you were struggling with. I'll dig my rule book out and see if I can help translate some of it.
Cool. Well,
I'm on an OCS kick right now, so there's nothing else going into my brain. So there's room for U.S. Civil War.
outstanding.
Gross. If you're on an
Outstanding.
OCS kick, how's the room for anything? Good gravy, man. I just mean that's a hefty system, man.
Yep.
It might not be Joss, but dang. Mike, what you got there, buddy?
I'm just building up a mountain range. Earthquake.
What you got going there?
3D terrain. I uncovered in the box. I've been trying to find all my minis and stuff in the man cave garage.
Yeah.
So this is some of the stuff that I over acquired in the last couple of years.
Are you stating that you have man caves? Because you have to change the whole name.
I have garages. The man cave is an accessory dwelling unit. It has 2 floors, a garage. The ground floor is very small. It's like a 6x10 room and a garage, but then the stairs go upstairs. The whole thing is like 850 square feet.
Jeez, that's the size of my whole house.
An 850 foot square house. That's pretty small.
It is built in the 50s, so.
Ooh.
But it does have a full basement. It's cold as balls down there
Oh, I bet.
because we don't have central heating in here. Oh, we lost McMurray.
Yeah, he's been having problems with that here the last couple of nights.
Yep. Oh.
Create some depth here if you get.
So, which OCS are you playing, Hexy?
Tunisia 2 right now. Not sure which one I'm going to drop next, but I don't know where this urge came from. I mean, I think it's a phenomenal system. So I've got this urge to, hell, you know, Hexy. I mean, shit, it changes with the wind with me. So
I'm glad you're having some fun with it. Walkabout Games is with us. Hello, gentlemen, and McMurray. Yeah. Oh, that's what happened. You show up, say that, and he leaves. Thanks, Chris Long. Nerd Workshop says Mike's Man Cave is fantastic. It is. It is. It's a wonderful, wonderful channel. All of us have wonderful channels. If you have not already subscribed to Hissy Cat, his 2 channels, Hissy Cat Studios and Hissy Cat Builds, go do that now. If you're not there with Meandering Mike's Man Cave, go subscribe there. And of course, you know, granddaddy of them all, Hex to Hex, big name of the group here. So, and let's see.
Don't forget your channel.
Yeah, well, they're here. Please subscribe to me now if you have not already. I am at 332 now. Slowly. Charles says, hope Friday ready to start playing Tanga 1914. That sounds like it has something to do with Lake Tanganyika during World War I, which McMurray would be, jazzed about, but he's not here, unfortunately. Were you going to say something?
No, I just say World War One.
Yeah. Jester, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I was wondering why we were hitting 20 and 21 viewers. Thank you, sir.
Very nice.
Great stuff. Hopefully we'll pull some more folks from your show when you're with us next week. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So Hissy, how is the postcard game jam going?
I'm glad you asked because we're in our final month. We have 4 weeks. 24 games have been submitted.
Outstanding.
And we've got 75 people have entered, or 74. Let me just check real quick, which is just crazy. Yeah, or 72. 24 games, 72 have joined. So we'll see if we get a rush this month. It'd be crazy if we got 50 games. I mean, it's already a nuts with 24. It's
Right.
20 more than I thought we were going to get, quite honestly. So, and I got mine still to finish. I know you've got yours still to finish. So,
No, there's not a still to finish. There is a set aside and start from scratch.
whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Old Chestnut in the house. Didn't know I wasn't already subbed to Meandering Mike. His channel picture is like a WBC badge photo, at least 15 years out of date.
10.
That's his Match.com picture.
This gray is 10 years worth.
At least you still have some not gray. I don't have any not gray anymore.
Yeah, there's some here and there.
Yeah, you've got some not gray.
Eh,
What about you, Jeff? You got any not gray? Yeah, he's got some not gray.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple dots.
Yeah, I don't have no not gray. I'm all white now.
So
Or
yeah,
gray,
I
whatever you want to call it.
I think the game that I have been working on is going to be better suited for the greeting card jam next year.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be both. You're going to have the postcards and the greeting cards, and I won't go any. Those will be it. I think that's going to be enough.
Right, but the point is that for all I want to do with it, it's going to be better in the postcard realm,
Yeah.
or not the postcard, but the greeting card realm, because there is quite a bit of text going to be involved.
Credit card games.
No.
Those are called mobile games.
Yeah. But I think I might be able to. I think I might be able to swing the other game I'm thinking of doing onto just the postcard. I
Well, if
think.
you ever want to get together and do a design session, let me know.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Mr. Mike, tell us about tell us about you. Tell us how long you've been gaming. Yeah, you. Tell us, how did you get started? Tell us everything. Tell us what we need to know.
Well, so my first war game was SPI's Panzer 44, and I was like in 8th grade, maybe even 7th grade. And it took me about 3 or 4 readings to actually figure out what the heck was going on in that game, because it's kind of advanced. It's, like simultaneous move plotted, tactical World War II combat in Europe.
Oh, wow.
But I dove in and figured it out, and I was hooked. So I've been playing SPI games since the early mid 70s. Avalon Hill, you name it, throughout the 70s and the 80s. Got into role-playing game stuff. Started collecting miniatures and buying them way faster than I could paint them. So I just did a video on the miniatures that I had painted over the years, and that's the extent of it. Between the 80s to the early 90s, that's all I ever painted. It was all for role-playing games, not for armies and stuff. But I easily purchased 100 times that, and I got rid of all of them in the early 90s, gave them to my sister, and she sold them all on eBay. Stopped playing about 1992 of any kind of games other than computer games. Didn't get back until 2017, when I got the urge to. Well, I was planning on doing making computer games, and the courses that I was taking, they were saying the best way to get started is to do board games, prototype on paper or do board games. So I got hooked back into board games, and I started wanting to collect all the stuff that I had that I had in high school or in college, or all the games that I had played that I didn't own myself, or the games that I saw. So my journey of obsessive acquisitive disorder began in earnest then. And so all that crud you see in my man cave, and so much of it that's buried, literally only see the tip of the iceberg. That's where I'm at now, sorting through it all, trying to figure out how to actually fit it all in there. So that's been the nutshell description of my journey.
So, what is? Have you done any miniatures gaming, or were you just doing miniatures for role playing?
So I've watched people do like historical miniatures gaming. I played a little bit of System 7 Napoleonics, which is the cardboard representation of Napoleonic units that can't even remember what scale that was. It was like company level or something, maybe it was
Right.
battalion level. But yeah, that's it for miniatures wargaming. I've played, a lot of miniature, like dungeon crawl and board games, and I've got,
Sure.
Shadows of I've bought tons. I've with everything I've bought way more than I've had time to actually play. But it's all on my
Yeah, I
list.
think we're all
Things I
like
want to
that.
get to. My bucket list is huge and large, and that's one of the reasons I had to retire, so I could actually play some of this stuff before I die. So people talk about that all the time, and I said, no, I'm gonna actually do it. I'm gonna actually retire and start doing this stuff. So
Outstanding. Good stuff. What is your favorite era in history to game?
well, the first thing that I would say, and it's not necessarily true, would be Napoleonics. And that's because that was sort of the first fascination I had in history was learning about Napoleon and enjoying like the SPI, Napoleon at War Quad, and the Napoleon's Last Battles and things like that. I've gamed, World War II way more than Napoleon, and other stuff too. But that's always sort of my first thought is like, Napoleon. That's my favorite, and I have a pretty extensive collection of Napoleonic books and games. But again, I've actually played more World War II and other stuff.
Cool. All right. What is your favorite game or game system?
So I usually say it's a tie, and neither of them are Napoleonic. So it's a tie between Louis Pulsipher's Britannia, which I just finished like a 20-hour plus playthrough of on my
Yeah, I
channel,
saw part of that.
where I go into great detail, talking through the strategies and all that stuff. The game can play in 4, 5, 6, 8 hours depending on the group, but I played all the sides and talked way more. I meandered my way through it, just to give people an idea of the considerations and what to do. The other favorite game is an SPI title that was in a Strategy and Tactic magazine called Battle for Germany, where you play normally 2 players. You play like the Ally and the East Germans, and then the Soviet player plays the West Germans. So you're playing against each other to try to slow the other side down. So instead of one side playing the Allies and one side playing the Germans, you're playing opposite each other with each other's opposition. Now, there was a 3-player variant of that where you could actually play both sides of the Germans. And in high school, I typically would win that as the Germans about half the time against my friends, because they didn't really know how to handle when I started shifting units back and forth across the fronts and plowing into the Allies with the big armor that I shifted from the East Front, and the way that I figured out how to slow down the Soviet fronts on the East Front, just sort of like sacrificially feeding them units that I could win about half the time. But those are my 2 favorites, even though Quatre Bras is probably the third
Okay.
from the Napoleon's Last Battles.
Very cool. So tell us about your channel. What's it all about? What do you do there? What do you show off?
So my intention, my plan was to start a channel at the beginning of this year, and my thoughts were at the end of like 2021 at the end and the beginning of 2022. That's what I was planning to do, was start a channel beginning of 2023 where I would focus on games that didn't get much play, obscure games or games that were rated poorly, and I would like look at them and examine them and say, hey, I'm going to play this, so either you don't have to, or I'm going to play this, show you that maybe you should be playing this game. That was my plan. But then we had to move, and so all of 2022 was occupied with having to move from the house that we thought we were going to die in, and so I'd already had too much junk, and I bought even more junk when we moved in there, so now I had to move all that crap. And so as I got this new property here and established the man cave, people kept asking when I was chatting on other live streams. They're saying, well, show us your place, show us what the man cave is. And so I started just doing crappy videos, filming it vertically, and then one time it came out sideways, and very unsteady cam hands, just showing what was in the man cave, trying to figure out how to organize it and stuff. And then people started asking, well, aren't you going to do playthroughs? Didn't you say you're going to you start a channel, actually have a channel? And Tony on Tony Board Life from the War Room, he was one of the ones that got me. I just said, okay, I'm going to start doing it. I'll start doing playthroughs, start doing reviews and whatnot. So I just dug in, and I can't remember if that was, started doing those in September or October or something. And then decided, hey, I'm going to start giving away games because I got duplicates of a bunch of this stuff. And I just started trying different things. Some of my food videos sort of went semi-viral. Most of my game-oriented videos get anywhere between 20 and 150 views, where a couple of my food videos have 3,000 views.
Wow.
The 3-minute chili video, got up to almost 3,000. And so the whole argument about beans or no beans, I started with that as one of my videos. So here I am now digging into my minis, sort of a new segment called So Many Minis. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So that's a good little segue that I can lead into with April 1st, a month from today, Saturday. We are going to do a 24-hour live stream. And it's just, we're going to be here. I'm starting to get some guests lined up to hop on. Hopefully, I've reached out to Sean Carpenter from Ambush Alley Games. He's going to be on. I've talked to Thomas. Hopefully, he'll be on that. Who else have I talked to? Oh man, Francisco from where is it? No, wrong one. Clash of Spears and Clash of Katanas. Oh shush. Stupid watch. John, our British correspondent, is reaching out to some of the guys over there, see if they'd like to join us. So yeah, we're gonna go for 24 hours straight. Did this once before on the other channel. We're gonna do it again this time around, and we're gonna use it as our kickoff to the Not Jay's game. Not Jay's miniatures painting challenge. And what I'm wanting to do with that is to get people who want to get motivated to paint or are already motivated to paint but want to paint more, or just want to participate. And it's going to be, you're going to set yourself a goal, a number of points. Now, how it's going to work out is, for anything that is 32 millimeter and smaller, a single up to 1.5 by 1.5 base is worth a point. However many miniatures you fit onto it. So, for instance, if you're looking at 3 millimeter or 6 millimeter, you're going to have like 5 or 6 or 7 little dudes on there. That's going to count as a point. You got 2 or 3 15 millimeter guys on there. That's going to be a point. You just have one dude on there. That's a point. So anything 1.5 by 1.5 or smaller is 1 point. You get to the bigger sizes, you get to your 54s, your 75 millimeters size miniatures, like what Reese does. His 54 millimeter guys, those are going to be like 3 points a piece. Vehicles, again, if they're this scale, if they fit on this size of a base, it's going to be, however many you put on there, it's going to be worth 1. Now, if you do you do 3 millimeter tanks like I do, and you have them on a single washer, a platoon is going to be a point, because I'm not going to give myself 1 point per tank when it's on a single base. That's ridiculous. And not fair. So yeah, it's got to be a platoon. If you're talking 3 millimeter stuff, that you got to have a platoon to make it count as a point. The little ships, if you decide to do little ships like McMurray and I do, that guy is a point. If you do a ship like this, that's going to be worth like 5 points. If you're doing 1/2400 scale, 2000 to 2400.
Chris, let me interrupt you. Thomas has to take off. He says hit him up next.
Oh yes, yeah.
Sorry.
I'm thinking in 2 weeks for you, Thomas. 2 weeks. So I'll send you an email, buddy. Thanks, man. Take care. So glad you dropped in. We'll definitely be talking. So I'm going to get this all listed out and posted up on the Not J Facebook group, and also in the Not J Discord. And so what you're going to do is you're going to look at that and say, okay, I'm going to set a goal of 100 points. And I whip out my 100 points. Yay, I've succeeded. What that's going to do for you is you're going to get a credit or what's word I'm looking for? An entry into a drawing. So if you hit your goal, so for instance, if I hit my goal, oh, Gordon, take care, buddy. Yeah, go watch some more Mandalorian, man. Take care. Thanks for dropping in. So let's say I hit my goal of 100. That means I get 5 entries into the drawing. For every 10 points worth of painting I do get done, I get 1 point. So even if you don't hit your goal, you're still going to get entries into the drawing. If you go over your goal that you've set for yourself, for even if it's one more than that 50 or that 5 points or 10 points, that 10 points, that gets you another entry. So even if you do 103, that gives you 10 entries one for every 10, plus the 5, plus the 1 extra because you did 3 more than the next 10, if that makes sense. So I will drop the Discord link to you here in just a second, guys. What's going to be up for grabs in the drawing? Well, Hissy Cat's already promised three things,
Yep.
some miniatures.
3D printed stuff.
Yeah, 3D printed stuff. I'll be unpainted.
Big stuff too. When you say miniatures, these are big.
Yeah, they're
Now, let me go
anywhere.
grab them. Let me go grab them while we're talking.
Yeah, they're anywhere between 54 and bigger. Yeah, I think I will need Meandering Mike to explain the math to me like his CRT odds chart in the playthroughs. Nice. How many points for painting Magnus the Red for Warhammer? That sort of a war game. Now, if you're gonna do like a big monster character like that, I know he's still in that heroic 32 millimeter, but he's got all kinds of business going on. Like if you're gonna do one of the Primarchs for 40K, that's gonna be well worth more than just a single point. But Hissy Cat's got some stuff that he's gonna kick out and give away.
How much for my Olmec heads?
So there's this
Oh,
dude. He's got the rest of his
piece. So yeah, that's
sale
yeah,
with all
so
his peeps in his belly.
yeah.
Then there's this one.
Nice, two-headed troll.
Yep. And then
Oh yeah,
this bad boy.
nice.
And this one is done by a friend of mine who's an animator at Pixar, who's got a Patreon where he does these characters for his war game that he created. So this is one of the characters.
It's like a cross between a minion and an alien.
Yep.
Well, it's about this big, and I printed it much larger. And then remember, I have the bust as well, right?
Yeah.
So there's 4. I got to get these shipped off to you here so I don't break them between.
Yeah, there's
now and
wardrobe.
then. But those are the
Hey,
4 that
Rob.
I'm going to donate.
He's walking the dog. Walking the dog. Walking the dog. All right. I need to go check on something real quick.
Hey, nerd.
If y'all will talk amongst yourselves real quickly. Cat, I'll be right back.
So your story, Mike, how you got in back in is very similar to kind of what I went through with in and out and back in. It's just interesting. Of course, I painted a lot of Space Marines and D&D characters and things like that as well.
I never got into, Warhammer 40K. Never done Warhammer Fantasy Armies either. Even though there was a lot of individual, Warhammer sculpts that I, have an eye on. It's like, oh, those Chaos Warriors. I'll get some of those for whatever, or what is it, the skinks or skanks or whatever they're called.
Skaven?
Well, not the Skaven.
Oh, okay. The Skaven are the rat people.
The newer ones from like Age of Sigmar, aren't they?
Oh, okay. I don't know any of the Age of Sigmar stuff.
I love different kinds of like Skaven and rat people and all. I collect stuff from just all over, things that like in my mind, like, yeah, I'm going to use them in Dungeons and Dragons. Like, get, dozens of times, dozens of things more than I'd ever have a chance to use. But that potentiality in my mind is so valuable. It's like to be able to put together any kind of encounter. It's just crazy.
Yep. Yeah, and that's when I got the 3D printer, because it's cold, I can't print right now, but this summer it's going to be cranking out miniatures. Or I still call them toy soldiers.
Tusk Riders. So I
Room
just
Quest
did it on.
miniatures. Those are old, aren't they?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, they're old, but you can find this stuff on eBay and
Yeah.
things. Dark Trolls with. I just did an unboxing of. There actually some people are casting thing and licensing to cast them. So the stuff that I unboxed, I think it was yesterday, and did a video on. There was RuneQuest Ducks and Brews and Trollkin, yeah, I just love collecting. And again, I'm not trying to build an army, but I you sometimes you need a war party or something for role playing or Dark Trolls, and of course I like the military miniatures. Yeah, not to actually war game it, but again for role playing. So I get a lot of Viking stuff.
Okay. Well, what was the war? What was that RPG you had? Did the unboxing or the? Oh my God, what was that called?
Which one?
Well, you didn't know what those little pieces of paper were for. Did you understand when what I typed into your comments?
Oh yeah. Which one was that?
Oh my God, I have the original book too. I don't have it next to me, but yeah, that's a huge thick book. I got it for reference material. I got a number of RPGs that I use for reference material. But
wow, I'm trying to remember. There's so many things I've unboxed.
Yeah, this was just recently.
Okay.
It was a starter kit. Yeah, kind of a horror one.
Yeah, right. Zweihander.
Yes. So I've got the original book, the big thick book, but the starter kit looked interesting. And then those little tabs were to slide along your piece of paper. Do you get that? If you cut them out, it's got that little thing, and you just put that
like
as a tab behind your paper. And then you slide that as where your hit points are, or whatever the case.
Kind of a gauge.
Yeah.
A rolling track kind of thing.
Yeah, it just slides on the paper.
All right, cool.
So
Anyway.
something
I'm gonna think
similar
about
to
Vikings.
this.
More Vikings.
Let's see here.
More Vikings.
Come on.
I have blisters like that of cowboys.
Cave Troll.
So you
So
have a
cut-
3D printer?
Kind of like this, right?
I do.
Yep.
An Ibex. It's
Mike, you see what he's doing there?
Like that. Okay.
So that's what the little tab is. You just cut it out and then slide a piece of it behind the paper and then slide that along your character sheet.
Interesting.
It's an interesting way of keeping.
So Charles,
track of
P-51D, that's a cool aircraft.
P-51 is a good
Baboon
airplane.
Shaman.
It is
How
not my
esoteric is
favorite.
that?
What do you got there?
Baboon Shaman. For
Nice.
Lorentha, Hero Wars, Rune Quest. They kept changing the name of the game system, and there was all sorts of. They were playing kind of rights games with their IP throughout the 90s and early 2000s. So I do think I could have a huge Viking army here between these and the 2 boxes I have of Viking Bondi and Herdman. Those are like 32 each. So I don't know. Not sure what I'm going to paint for April.
So Charles is the only blisters he still has are GHQ micro armor. Yeah, I've got quite a few of that. I still have quite a few of the Micronauts also. GHQ 1/2400 scale ships. Chris says, when did people start thinking that Vikings stuck horns on their helmets? If I'm not mistaken, that came about with Wagner and the Ride of the Valkyries. That his opera. Don't know why.
Kill the
But-
wabbit.
Totally on,
Mhm.
yeah, non-historical.
It would be nice if they made the clips in plastic, though. Yeah, it would be. Really, honestly, that would be a great, great add-on. You know,
Free
sell them
print.
with a little paper, and then, you know, if you
Well, in
want.
that starter kit for the RPG, there was a sheet of uncut ones, and Mike couldn't figure out what they were. And it took me a little time of looking at them to figure out that those were slides for character sheets. But I don't think they said anywhere in the kit what they were used for. They're just kind of like there, which is always helpful.
Yeah, it wasn't obvious. I mean, it's supposed to be buried in there somewhere. There would be some explanation, but not that I saw.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, so this coming Saturday is going to be another paint night. I don't know if McMurray and I have come up with an actual topic, or
We need to pick something he hasn't already finished.
right. Yeah, I need to get with him and find out what he wants to do. And then the following week, I'm hoping to have 3 more submarines. I've ordered them. I should have, if they come in on time, 4 more submarines. I'll have an Akula class Soviet attack sub, a Typhoon class ballistic missile sub, and then 2 Los Angeles class USS Los Angeles and USS San Francisco. So all in this.
I understand
scale.
that those Los Angeles class ones don't travel very fast because of the traffic.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
That was bad. Oh my God, that was horrible.
It was. It was horrendous. But you know what? If not now, when? If not who? If not you, who? Right.
Yeah. Hey, you got to throw them up against the wall, and sometimes they stick.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one didn't.
So, what are you, besides the postcard game jam? What else have you been working on? Hissy Cat.
I've been diving into this Carrier Battle Philippine Sea.
Yeah.
That looks like a fun game. I'm going to do the comprehensive example. I'm going to do a video as kind of if you've got the game and you're reading that, I'm going to try to do a video that's a supplement that. So
Okay.
I've been reading, kind of playing that a little bit. And then just some of my entrepreneurial things with other
Yeah.
ventures, but gaming wise, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I've got I got the first game submitted in the game jam. I've got it crafted. And the next thing is to this weekend, shoot a video of my first gameplay of the games in the game jam. And I got 24 plus of these to do. So
Yeah.
A lot of work.
yeah, well, again, I thought maybe there'd be 4 or 5 games and that'd be easy. I could do some, videos, and now I've got 24 lined up.
Have you posted on the website that no, you're not going to be able to publish everyone's 100
Yeah.
copies for free? Okay, good.
Yeah,
Like,
I did
all
actually.
you have to
So
do- come on.
I did post that, and because I realized that about 15 or so, I'm going, yeah, I can't afford to do that. As much as I'd like to, it just I couldn't. And now at 24, there's no way.
No way in hell.
Yeah, it's still going to be a challenge to get all the T-shirts done. I mean, pay for those, but that I'm going to stick to because I want to give people something. I don't want to back out of everything, even
Right.
though, and then next year I'll be a little more selective. But and I have been approached by a nonprofit that wants to publish all the games and print them, put them into a book or a set. So you
Right.
buy, and so I've been talking to them. I just got to talk with all the, put it out and talk with all the developers and do it kind of as an opt-in kind of thing. I won't make anything off of it. Again, I'm not looking to make money off of this at all.
Right.
But it's an opportunity for them to get published. And again, it's a nonprofit, and I don't want to say much more because we're both kind of on the same page. Hey, yeah, let's do this. But I don't want to kind of go back on what I said about not making any money off these. So I won't.
Right.
But it's a group that people know of in the wargaming community. So, and then one of the games has already been picked up and is going to be published. And that was, I saw it on Twitter last week. They made that announcement.
Oh, outstanding.
So that's cool. So yeah. And then, like I said, next year I'm going to open it up to have Christmas cards. So you can have a little more space, because I've got a game that just won't fit a second design that just won't fit on a postcard. And so I want to do it, and it should fit on a Christmas card size. So I'll keep the same kind of theme. Christmas cards from the front will be the second category, and you could design games for either or. And I say this now, I'm going to cap it at just the two formats, and then next year will come and it'll grow a little more, and people will be like,
Right.
open it up to all games. And I'm not going to say no, but for now, I'm just going to go with those two formats for next year. And it'll be December 1. So if you're working on a game now, one of my things with a lot of game designs are they want virgin designs, and that's just not how game designers are for the most part. We've got 3 or 4 we've been working on. You'd like to get some feedback, maybe something to boost you to kind of get that design done. And most designs are all, we're going to start from scratch. And not that I don't like that, but I didn't want to limit that. So if you've got an idea now that you think might fit on a Christmas card, start working on it, because I'll open that up for the 24 cards from the front on December 1st and do it for next year. And then I'll try to be a little more organized with it as well, and see if I can get I might even still be able to get sponsors for this year. I'm going to start asking around a little bit, see who might be interested. But I suspect as this gets a little more legs, and if it grows, I mean, 74, there's a chance of 74 entries. And one person's already input 3 games.
Right.
So, in a perfect world, everybody submits at least a game. We're going to have close to 80 games. That just is 75 games is crazy. But yeah, Mike, I did go and post on the page that I can't afford to print everybody's games as I originally planned.
It happens.
Hey, if I hit the lotto, going back to our other topic, totally would do it. Yeah, that'd be a done deal.
There you go.
But
So
anyway, thanks for letting me ramble on that for a little bit.
no, sure. So other Mike, Man Cave Mike, Meandering Mike, what do you got planned coming up on your channel here in the next couple of weeks or so?
Well, one thing I got to do that I've sort of put on hold while I'm doing all these minis unboxing, I got to do my playthrough of Paolo Mori's Blitzkrieg. I don't know if any of you've played that one, but sort of took the world by storm for a small little simple introductory war game, World War II in 20 minutes. And so that's one of my top, 10 games for the War Rooms, 10 games for 2023.
Yeah.
So I gotta get back and finish that up. I'm gonna do one of my patented explain everything and overanalyze everything and talk my way through it. It'll obviously take more than 20 minutes. And then I'll play a version of it where I actually, just play it and not discuss what I'm doing, just narrate what I do it and make sure I finish in 20 minutes. But so that's on the list. I need to get that done either this weekend or early next week. But more minis though. I just got to keep digging through that and organize. And I'm trying to get some stuff cleared out of the back of the garage so I can go put some new Gorilla racks back there. And I got to just keep with the storage. I have still a storage unit back where we moved from that's loaded with comic books, and they keep raising the dang rental fee on that, so it's up to like $330 a month.
Mm.
It went up like $80 from 250 to 330.
What was that?
I got my storage unit.
Oh, storage unit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just insane that
Was that a two-bedroom?
when I first rented the place, it was like $120, and it just kept just going
Yeah,
up
that's
way.
probably how they get you, right?
Yeah, and yeah, it's just crazy, right? Because yeah, you know, it's like I don't want to move it. I can't, you know.
Yeah.
It's like no, I've got to I got to clear it out and make some room. And I plan to sell at least half the stuff off, but you know, I gotta get it out of where it is now and make some room and bring it up. You know, way too many comic books, which you know, same kind of thing. I totally got rid of like all my comic books when I was like 14, right? You know, oh, I'm going to high school. Comic books are for kids, you know. Got rid of them all. And then let's see, when I was probably about 40, somehow I got hooked again. I started collecting Magic the Gathering and comic books, and just, you know, obsessive acquisitive disorder.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering I did for a short period of time, and then I replaced that with Legend of the Five Rings.
I played that for a while. That was a lot of fun.
I got to know the owner, AEG, the lead designer, the writers, all of them when they first started. They were going to tournaments in California, and I just went head over heels. And to this day, I will say that's one of the best card games ever designed, and would argue it's a war game when you're playing factions and you're attacking. It's not a hex encounter, and it's fantasy, but it is by far still the original one anyway. One of the best gaming experience I've ever had. The way that you do tournaments, and the writer would be there, John Wick, who was the lead writer, and he would take the events that happened in the tournament and write that into the story for the next expansion to come out.
I heard about that.
And there's a lot of other stories that the people at AEG could tell much better than I could even try to do. But it was such an amazing game. So I was into that for a good number of years.
I never got into comic books, and I only got into 2 collectible card games, both by the company Decipher. One was Star Trek collectible card game, and of course Star Wars collectible card game. Both early mid 90s, and yeah, I've just I with card games, there's a lot of synergies. You know, when you're building your deck, okay, I need to have this card to make this card work better, and like no, that's too much thinking. And a lot of miniatures games, especially coming from Fantasy Flight and now Atomic Mass Games, does that, and it's just that's probably why I've never played Star Wars Legion, is because I have to have this character on the field to be able to make this character be able to do whatever the hell they're going to do better. And like, I just want a straightforward, this guy does his thing, you know, not necessarily getting a boost from anybody else type of thing. And like I said, comic books, I never got in. I don't know why. I never got into reading comic books. You know,
you have to know how to read. Maybe that was a barrier.
No, because one of my favorite things to do was read novels. You know, those are books without pictures.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know what those would be.
And the magazines I did read with pictures were under my dad's bed. I only read them for the articles.
Of course. For the articles.
Chris says only collectible card games I've ever played were way back in grade school with hockey cards, banging them off the schoolyard walls. There you go.
See, you know the two big games we played a lot in high school? Shooting craps and pitching quarters up against the wall. I was pretty good at that. Both, actually.
Chris says I found my dad's penthouse forum too. Screwed me up big time. Yeah, it's
That's another novel, right? Mostly words, no pictures.
yeah, yep, exactly. Dear Penthouse, I didn't think I was going to ever write something like this, but there I was.
What is that in your
What's
hand,
that there?
Mike?
It's a cave. That's sort of like a giant creature. Its maw is the entrance to
Oh,
the
yeah.
cave.
Oh, that's straight out of Penthouse Forums.
Oh, must be
Yikes.
sure. I got lost in the maw.
Go from 0 to 120 at age 10. Not good.
Let's see if we can.
Oh, very cool.
Big cave.
Yeah.
Bought a bunch of like 3D terrain that could either be used like Old West or kind of like maybe Star Wars kind of stuff, you know, Adobe buildings or something.
Oh, cool.
You know, out on Tatooine in the desert planet or something. Or I like multi-purpose, you know.
You use those for
That's Tatooine or San Antonio.
Yep, Alamo or Aldebaran or
or Afghanistan.
yeah. Some more of those.
Yeah, even biblical, right? Yeah, Middle East.
Right. Yeah.
Anywhere you're gonna find stuff made out of mud. Charles says his kids dragged him into Yu-Gi-Oh.
Played some Pokemon for a while.
I did.
That actually
Pokemon,
wasn't a
I
bad
did
little
Yu-Gi-Oh.
game.
No idea. I didn't even play Pokemon the video games.
Oh, yeah, I played those big time with my kids.
This thing is pokey. It can stab you.
Yeah. No. So what we've got happening, there's a couple of games that I'm going to be getting Ocean Thunder going. I need once March to Victory is finished, I'll be able to start focusing on getting Ocean Thunder wrapped up and ready to publish. I'm hoping with Hissy's assistance, getting it to the point where it's ready to go to market by the end of this year. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I actually started to lay out Adobe file to start working on a book cover for you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we've got that going on. Again, if anybody is interested and has any interest in World War II naval combat, primarily, well, not primarily, all surface, exclusively, there's a good word, exclusively surface combat. There's no submarines in the game, and only a bit of aircraft. It's primarily, destroyers, cruisers, battleships. The only reason an aircraft carrier would be on the board is because it is you're playing Leyte Gulf. and you got the little Jeep carriers pulling the cruisers into 40 millimeter range, that type of stuff. But if that's something you're interested in, it is a quote miniatures game. You don't have to play with miniatures. You can play with little cutouts. And then by all means, let me know. I'll send you a working copy, and if y'all want to play test it, I would love to get people to look at the game that when I am not around, because I want people to be able to pick up the book and say, okay, let's see how this game plays, and they figure it out without me being there to explain it to them.
Yep.
Because I've said it many times before. I started this project 30 years ago with my best friend, Chris Copeland. And just because I know something and it just is second nature to me, doesn't mean that is the way with others. Because I might just by a habit know that I have to do this certain thing at this certain point in the game because it just is. And I don't have it written down anymore. And there might be big, huge gaping hole in the rules that I gloss over because I know what's supposed to happen. Chris says, been playing Animal Crossing on my 3DS for over 10 years now. The villagers can never leave. I feel like that kid in Twilight Zone. Nice.
The Village. Remember the show The Prisoner?
Mm-hmm. I'm a man. I'm not a number.
I'm a free man. Yeah, number 6.
Yep. Tim D says, starting your own Silent Hill. Oh, God, that game. A buddy of mine was playing that one night at my apartment, and all the lights were out, and I had been reading in my room. I came out and walked in probably one of the worst times. Something horrific happened on the screen. I was like, I almost ralphed. Nerd says, I like World War II naval combat. Cool. So do I, and that's what got me into this 30-year morass. Bombardment of the Gallipoli outer forts started last week, back in 1915. Start of something horrible for the Anzacs. Oh yeah, that was not good. Bless you. TBI, I feel bad sometimes. They often ask to leave, and I say never.
Hey, after 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a tough fucker.
Or the movie The Village by M. Night Shyamalan.
Shamalama Ding Dong, Shubop Shawala.
Of course, I guessed the twist about halfway through the movie.
Don't spoil
What
it.
movie?
Someone out there still hasn't seen it.
I'm not saying a word.
No, I haven't. I don't know what movie you're talking about.
The Village.
Oh, I probably
That's the name
won't
of
watch it. So there's no. You could tell me I wouldn't. It's not going to matter.
Yeah.
But
It's been out, what, 15 years now?
It's worth watching. And his first one, what was it called?
Who, M. Night Shyamalan's?
Yeah, his first movie, the one with Bruce Willis. That's worth seeing.
The Sixth Sense?
Yeah, don't let anyone spoil that. And then The Village
Yeah.
is worth watching.
Need to find the rules for Tsushima for the C64. Lost the rules, dang it. I bet you they're out there on the interwebs somewhere.
yeah.
Are those flesh tearers? Flesh rippers?
I believe they're called Khorne, Khorn.
Yeah, Khorne. Yeah, they're lesser demons of Khorne. They're from the 40K or the Warhammer universe.
Yeah.
Not in my world. In my world, they're not from
Alrighty,
40K.
Oh, take care, buddy. Yeah, thanks for the congratulations. Yeah, it's hard to believe I've been doing this for 2 years. And half the time I'm just rambling about just
And he can't leave either, just like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, apparently not.
You can check out anytime you want. You can
But
never
you can
leave.
never leave on a dark desert highway. Cool wind in my hair.
So I did not paint any of these. These were all bought. I bought them painted.
Well, I found some that I got at an auction. A whole mess of a gang for Necromunda.
Yeah.
And I got it for like $5. And there's probably 20 plus miniatures. Some of them are painted up really, really nice. Let me go grab it.
This is
Because
blood.
we were talking about wargaming on a budget, and this was like one of the best deals I ever got.
Yeah, blood letters and flesh rippers, and yeah, they're.
I used to go on Facebook's a group called RPG Auctions,
Yeah,
and I would, look for bargains there. Some of these I bought off of eBay, but a lot of stuff I bought on that Facebook group. There's a particular guy in Oregon, Lee Autry, and he would rebase a lot of things, repurpose miniatures, and paint them up nice. And so things like from Hero Clicks or Mage Knight or different stuff, he'd cut off the game base, with like the clicks and the trackers and stuff, and then he'd just
Right.
rebase the normal minis. And I liked buying stuff from him.
yep.
Yeah, I
These
got
are
21 miniatures, and they're painted up to this quality.
Let's pull you up here. Oh yeah.
What do we got
What's up,
there?
Ryan?
This-
Necromunda gang that he picked up for next to nothing.
And look at that.
That's nice.
It's amazing some of the deals you can get when someone's deciding to sell off their army or something.
Yeah, and like I said, there's 21, and only one of them isn't painted, but they're all at this quality.
That is why you gotta love flea markets at conventions.
Yep.
This was at a game store, but it was they used to do a birthday weekend, and they had an auction every year.
Yeah.
And I picked these up. Same concept, but yeah.
Yep. I'm about to say the local one of the local chains, Fantasy Shop, does that. They used to use gaming auction twice a year.
Yeah, this dude's pretty badass too, man. Sweet.
Oh yeah, looks good.
Yeah, highlighted. Like I said, 20 of these miniatures for like $5.
Whoa.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't beat that with a stick.
No, so I just need to play. I've got an army. I've been thinking of doing shorts with them, but it wouldn't be my stuff, so I couldn't do it. I mean, I've owned them for 20 years or so, but I didn't paint them, so I don't want to misrepresent.
Charles says, "Yep, been here since the beginning and don't want to leave our community." Charles, I know you are fan number one, and that is greatly appreciated. You were here from day one. Another viewer who, in my heart, still watches every week. That's Paulie.
Yeah.
He was there from day one also. That's what I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know I didn't know if we were going to continue this, or if I was going to continue this. And it wasn't, it was a couple of weeks before I brought anybody on with me. I was literally flying solo, and decided to reach out to the guys that had been on the War Room on the previous channel to say, "Hey guys, it looks like I'm going to be doing this again. Y'all want to come join me?" And
I'm about to say the first couple shows weren't like scheduled out. You just kind of launched on them.
yeah, I did. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go live and just see what happens. And I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know where. But you know, like I said, Charles was there, and Paul was there, and you know,
We probably had like Bunkhouse and a couple of those other guys too.
yeah.
I missed some guys we missed seeing, like Dave Hall and those guys, but that's okay.
Yeah. So, but it was, you know, and that was enough to get me to continue to want to do it. Finally settled down to thinking, you know, hey, Wednesday nights seem to be a good night. I'm not up against, you know, people going out Saturdays or you know, Friday nights, and at that point in time, I didn't know other, you know, other gaming channels had live shows also. I was just doing this to, you know.
It certainly didn't seem like there were as many to try and dodge around, that's for sure.
Right.
Not to mention we'd been doing Saturdays for a couple of years there, so
Yep.
branching out into a different night just was a little different.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but the thing I would say is, if there's anybody still watching, we're down to 6. We did have, I think we hit 22 tonight.
Oh, cool.
So thanks one and all that did show up. Jester, if you're still out there, probably not, but thanks for when you finished off your show, pointing people over to this direction. I truly appreciate it. Gained 3 new subscribers.
It was cool seeing Thomas tonight.
Yep. Yeah. I'm hoping to have him on in 2 weeks.
Immediately before March to Victory?
Yep.
That'd be sweet.
Yep.
That'd
So,
be super cool.
Hexy says, we told you to start your stream in Brander channel. Not sure what.
Not Jay. A brandier channel.
Oh. Okay.
That's what I'm guessing.
Anyway.
Did John pop in at all tonight?
No, I have not seen John. I need to reach out to John. I do. I need to reach out to John again, see if he wants to come on during the 24 hours, and also on to a regular show.
Which John? John Reed or
John
No.
Mollison from Joy of
Yeah.
Wargaming,
Yep.
author extraordinaire, wargamer extraordinaire, purveyor of the House of Wargaming.
Yep. Let's see. Chris says, you guys have nothing to worry about. In my opinion, such a good vibe. Feels like a game club for me, and like everyone just does whatever the hell they want to do. Exactly. Oh, yeah. He says, brand your channel. Okay, yeah. Yep. So, but,
I think you can still do that, boss.
you think?
Yeah, you know what? People are very accepting, and it's still rather. You're not
Relatively small.
Yeah, relatively small. In the sense of what are you at
333.
330 plus
333.
333. There we go. So you're third way there, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
Nice. Minus one. But point being is, you know, you're going to triple before you get to that 1,000 mark, and you will. And so
Yeah.
I think you've got put your brain to it. You could, you know, rebrand, and you could do like Prince. You could be formerly not Jay. Formerly known, the artist formerly known as not Jay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm actually kind of happy where I am right now.
Yeah,
So-
then go with it.
Yeah. Chris says, like a variety show with all the segments at once. Exactly. Now, something that we used to do on the other channel, and I think I want to bring it around again, and that's historical Who Am I? What do you think about that, McGarry?
We gonna answer questions properly?
Because this smells like Jester's "What Game Am I?" that he thinks everybody should guess in 3 guesses, and it takes 2.5 hours.
No.
And you're gonna be like, "Come on, you should know
No,
who I am."
what happened? What happens is the person who is asking the question of who am I
Mhm.
has five hints. Hardest hint first, easiest hint with them. The fifth hint will definitely give away who it is. And
Sounds like
and so
George
what happens
Washington.
is, you'll start with hint number one, and everybody gets a chance to say who they think that person is.
Okay.
And then if nobody gets it, the second hint, and everybody goes around again. The person who guesses the following week is the who am I. They come up with the historical figure.
Oh, well, I'll never win that then.
And he's back.
Man, everything keeps screwing up on me. Sorry, guys.
What I was asking before you so rudely left is doing the historical who am I.
Yeah, I caught that chunk. Yep. Absolutely. We can do that. We're just going to answer the questions correctly.
Yes. Yeah.
It's always
Well, like I said,
an important point in those things.
what I'm as I was explaining, it's there's five hints. Everybody goes around guessing. When you put out the hint, it's not going to be. You don't want it to be so flippant obscure that nobody's going to get it. Right, Tim. You don't go obscure to begin with. You're going to go with people that are well known, but you're going to give, like date of birth. Not everybody's going to know the date of birth of Patton, unless you're a huge Patton fan and you just happen to know it.
Oh, I thought you said Pat, and I'm like, who the hell is Pat?
Patton. George S. General George S.
Oh, so they're military history, not like Elvis Presley history?
If you want to do Elvis Presley, you can do Elvis Presley.
Okay, so they're okay.
To answer Nguyen's question before, these are from Tecamo, Empire of the Petal Throne. Previously, there were Swamp Folk. These are Shane.
Oh, those are Tengu. They look like Tengu, Japanese.
They're lizardy, though, aren't they?
Yeah, they're Shen, or if you pronounce your Soyani correctly, it's Shane. You gotta make it more like a long A than an E.
Yeah.
One problem with the Empire of the Petal of the Tecamo stuff is you got to really learn a totally new language to pronounce all the critters and places right. And it's kind of stuffy. Their insular environment of the people that actually played with Professor Barker and those that don't, and so there's kind of like a class hierarchy. Who is in the know and who isn't. They're not all like that. But.
Yeah.
Then of course the big. I don't know if you've all heard the scuttlebutt that Professor Barker turned out to be a closet Nazi, Holocaust denier. So the whole IP is sort of in turmoil right now.
Oh yeah. Vaguely remember reading something about that or hearing something about that.
McMurray, Chris wants to know if you painted any World War I Austro-Hungarian submarines or dreadnoughts.
I have a couple pre-dreadnoughts. I think I've painted. I'm trying to think. I don't know that I've actually painted anything Austro-Hungarian by the time you get to World War One. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe I'll have to hop on like CNC and see what I can find.
I'd like to get.
Yep.
I'd like to find somebody that does STLs on the cheap for World War One, because I'd like
for
to
World
get,
War One.
Yeah.
You can find everything that was at Jutland. You can find in one like 5,000 on. So it's really akin to Badger with the Quill type novels or type models on what do you call it, on Thingiverse. So that's everything at Jutland. But that again only limits you to Royal Navy and German classes at Jutland.
Yeah.
I found some. Wartime's Journal has some good pre-dreadnought stuff for a lot of countries, between France, England, or France, the UK, Germany, America, Spain. I don't think necessarily get too much into Austro-Hungarian type stuff or like the South American pre-dreadnoughts or anything like that. But yeah, World War I is kind of tough. I think not CNC, Panzerschiff, I think has some. I know they have a large World War I line. I don't know how much they get into the other nations of the, Entente and everything else. There's always Navwar. Navwar has everything.
Yeah.
It's just a pain to order. That's all.
There is that.
Um,
Go ahead.
No, I'm thinking about who has World War I stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure that CNC does, but ever since Legions for Hire bought CNC, their stuff that's in stock is always real spotty.
Yeah.
Which is really disappointing. It almost seems like more stuff is out of stock than in stock at any given point in time. I'm sure like Hallmark has some if you were to get on Magister Militum, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. What part of World War I are you wanting to play?
I'm just wanting to. I really like the look of the battleships of the era.
That's fair. Wing turrets were pretty cool. Oh, what about Tumbling Dice?
Oh, I'll have to check those. Yeah.
Tumbling Dice has metal 1/2400 stuff. That's where I got all my stuff for Cornell. They're not. I don't think they're exhaustive lines, but they've at least got some stuff, and they're very nicely priced, and they have all kinds of weird stuff too. Like, that's where I got my Lake Tanganyika stuff and all that, and they've got some good Age of Sail lines. Yeah, Tumbling Dice is awesome.
Cool. Although I have to check that out. Definitely. Looks like Mike, you got like just a crap ton of paint sets also.
Cat toy.
Oh yeah, cat toy. My cats go berserk over those.
Mm-hmm.
So
They
it's
can't
like
figure out
drawing-
why they put their paw on it and it's on top of their paw. And they're like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
I can't believe that these actually still. Yeah, that one works. These are. You can see the red, but it's not actually.
Don't look at it directly in your eye.
Yeah, I know. It's not actually forming a line.
Minguea says, I just found out why the Italians did not do any amphibious operations, as the Austro-Hungarian Navy was wicked in the Adriatic.
That's like the only place they had a blue water port. Yeah, well, that's the only place they had like any ports. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say they and the Ottomans. There's a surprising number of dreadnoughts and armored cruisers and whatnot, free dreadnoughts running around down in the Mediterranean, especially the Eastern Med.
Oh, interesting. That sounds like an interesting time to do naval war games.
I like it because you don't have like, so you're at not the pinnacle, but you're at a pretty advanced stage in terms of analog optical rangefinders.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps things simple because you're not worried about aircraft carriers. You're not worried about radar. You're not worried about sonar. You're not worried about submarines into your fleet actions. There are submarines, don't get me wrong. But in terms of, you can still get that that age of sail kind of just giant clashes of these great big ships. Because, I mean, it's Jutland is still by far the largest, modern, what I would call a modern naval battle in history. It makes, Lady Gulf. It's like if you crammed everything from Lady Gulf into one day, and you got them real close to each other, right? Like Lady Gulf might the campaign though. I would call Lady Gulf a campaign more so than an engagement. Jutland was a day.
Right.
That's the wild thing. And you've got 28 and a little less than that dreadnoughts on each side, and then a handful of pre-dreadnoughts, and yeah, man, that's wild.
Yeah, they say Leyte Gulf is the biggest naval engagement since Jutland. And the thing is that the quote, Battle of Leyte Gulf is actually 4 or 5 different distinct combat actions.
Yeah, and that's my point. Like, you got Surigao Strait, you got Samar, and everywhere else, as opposed to taking all of those ships and putting them all right there in one little, chunk right there off of in the North Sea. And it's just holy cannoli. That's a lot of damn ships.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because it's not just an isolated dreadnought fight. You still have cruisers and dozens and dozens and dozens of destroyers running around as well.
Right.
Okay, Gordon. Good night,
Jutland
boss.
is one of those. Good night.
See you, buddy.
Jutland is one of those things where people like to, that's their litmus test for a large naval game. Man, that'd be absolutely nuts to keep track of and do everything else. I feel like at some point in my life, I would like to play Jutland probably have to do it with a semi-large group of people, but using David Manley's CV Packham rules. Because
so how you do that is you get something like the field house at Lee Summit High School where they run recruits.
Yeah.
And you've got the ships down on the basketball court on the floor.
Yep.
And the guys that are actually playing the game, running the ships, are up on the mezzanine.
Yep.
Looking down, and then they've got radios to call down to the movers to actually move the ships for you. And so you're up there with binoculars looking down. And then at that point in time, you do it in 1/2400th scale, so you could do it at scale.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm about to
That
say
would be
you're
cool to
basically
see.
playing it like Avalon Hills Jutland at that point. Yeah.
Yep.
But I think those rules would be probably the most conducive I've seen so far to actually making that happen, and that would be pretty wild.
Yep. Yeah.
But yep. Yes, sir.
Ooh.
That being said, I gotta actually intentionally jump out again, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Be good.
Good night,
No
boss.
worries. You take care, buddy. Be safe. So, a couple other things that I'm looking to do moving forward is there is a game. There is a reason why I've got the submarines, and it's a game called Con Sonar, and it is a game that you can get off of Facebook, completely free. All the files are there for you to download. So I'm wanting to get to know the game because my brother has a gaming weekend in July that we will get anywhere between 6 and a dozen guys showing up for the weekend, and we just play games all weekend at this old antebellum farmhouse here in Illinois that has been turned into a hunting lodge / winery. There's a winery off to the side that people come and drink the wine, and
And then you release them out into the wild and hunt them?
yes, that's exactly what happens.
Nice.
But
At least they get some wine before you.
exactly,
chase them
yeah.
down.
Well, it helps them weave better.
Yeah.
But I'm wanting to get the game. And the reason I got the ships or the subs because like I said, I got an Akula class attack sub, I've got the Typhoon class missile sub, and I've got Los Angeles class missile sub, or not missile sub, attack sub. Well, if anybody knows the significance of those 3 submarines as a whole, that's the hunt for October. So I'm wanting to figure out how to do that.
Well, it feels like October right now. It's so cold.
Yeah, right. It is currently 46 here, mostly clear. We're going to get down to about 30.
We're 47 in clear.
Oh no, we're going to get down. We're going to get down to 32. We're going to freeze tonight.
37 here.
Tomorrow's only going to be a high of 52. Friday is 42. It's supposed to rain tomorrow and Friday. Blah. Ooh, Monday's going to be 71 though. Hot damn.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, well. So anyway. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to add, Mike? Meandering?
My brain's meandering. No, thanks for
He's
having me on the
entertaining
show.
himself by just making faces.
Yes, I do that sometimes. I do.
Cool.
I'm normally a quiet guy, except when I start talking, I don't stop. So
That's fine. That's good.
Too bad.
Well, thank you for joining us on our 2nd year anniversary.
Thank you
Yeah.
for having me.
Yeah. And if there's any time you want to, you got something to talk about or, something special for your channel that you want to bring up, by all means, let me know and we can bring you back on.
Well, what's your next game giveaway? You said you got something coming up?
Well, I'm going to do in March for Britannia. I'm actually going to give away a copy of the new version of Britannia with all the minis in it. That has
wow.
the 2 versions of the game, the 2-player and the classic. And I'm going to make it like a scavenger hunt.
Cool.
You got to go and dig through my channel and find stuff, and there'll be like hidden links, and you'll go off to like an unlisted video, and it'll give you some instructions, and you go chase down all the clues.
That sounds like fun.
And then as you reach certain milestones, you'll make comments on those hidden videos, and people get points for that. And the first finish the whole thing will get a bunch of bonus points, and then I'll do the drawing. And
Oh, interesting.
my guess is that there'll be maybe 2 people who are interested in spending the time to follow that or something. Like, that's too much work, but
Yeah.
that's my current thought. And I'm sure I'll do another simpler giveaway, maybe some minis in a miniature rule booklet or something. I have 2 of Phil Barker's Horde of the Things books. So I'll give one of those away and some minis or something. I don't know.
Neat. I haven't done any giveaways. I've been on the fence about whether I want to do that or not. Still haven't decided.
Well, I'll tell you, it can be frustrating because, you gain some subscribers, as people say, oh, because you're telling them the rules, you're supposed, you can't know for certain if they actually subscribed or not, because people can set their security so that you don't know, right? But then usually I lose a few subscribers after every contest because there's some sour grapes people that are like, oh, I didn't win, I'm out here.
Yeah.
So that's kind of frustrating, but I do.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point
too
where
much.
on my channel where I don't really get hyped about what my numbers are for subs. Because I did that when I hit 400, and then it went down to like 399, and I was literally crushed. And I'm like, I can't do that to myself. I just do what I do, and the numbers will be the numbers, and
Yeah.
it's so much easier that way for me.
That's why when I say, like, the goal is 350, I would say exceeding 350. So that way, if I go over one or two and then I go back down to 350, it's okay. But like, be really silly, like, I reached 350, and then like you can see in the video, dude, you only have 349 now. What's up with that? No, I did have it, I swear. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was doing. Is I would always, like, let's say 350. I would not get excited until it was 351 or 352.
Yeah.
Right.
And I got to 401, and then it went to 399. I'm like, oh man, I just can't.
Yep.
I
Yep.
can't win. So
So
I just said no more. I mean, yes, I want to grow. Yes, I enjoy what I'm doing, and I'd like to get to where I monetize all of that. Yes, yes, yes. But I don't let it consume me anymore.
Right. Now, last week you guys were great because, like, I was at 348, 349, and then you like, come on, people, get out there, and McMurray had a second account and all that stuff, and I shot up to like 356. So
Nice.
it was like way over the hump, right? So it's like, okay.
Yep.
Well, you know what we need? We need 1,000 channels, and we just all sub to each other, and then we're good.
Well, that's one of the advantages of leaving your security such that people can see what you subscribe to. And when it was my name, Mike Anthony, I said I should have some security, right? But no one could find the channel. Too many Mike Anthonys, right?
Mhm.
So I changed it to Meandering Mike, and I said, okay, I'm going to change it back so now people can tell when I subscribe to them. That way, it's like, well, why should I subscribe to you if you're not subscribed? Well, I am subscribed to you, but I didn't see your notice. And it's like, and this way, sometimes, you subscribe to someone and out of the blue, they just subscribe back, and that's,
Yeah.
That used to be the thing in a lot of different social media platforms or something, where that was the way, you go around and you find cool things to subscribe to so that, hopefully some of them will subscribe back, like MySpace or, I've never used Twitter much, but, these days I only use it to troll Elon Musk, but I do. It's like I go in there and find Elon Musk posts to troll on.
I started doing Twitter last year just for the gaming stuff, and I stay away from opinions and just keep it on games. And even then, I don't put out too many opinions.
When I first got Twitter, the only thing I did was, like, when I would do a Kickstarter, I would post on there that I did the Kickstarter. But I had 10 followers or something. Like, no one's seeing it. Like, I never spent the time to figure out, well, how to grow that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't really care.
Well, I have a rule. If somebody subs to me, I will I'll follow them. But I don't require anybody to sub, follow, pay attention to anything I do. If you like what I do, great. If you don't, there's a lot of really good content creators out there. Go watch their stuff, and it's all good. It's all good. I'll find my place and the people that like what I do, and I don't worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like, do I get excited when I see it, when I reach a milestone? Sure. It'll happen eventually. I mean, maybe. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The thing that's most important to me is the people that are here.
Yeah.
The people that come week in, week out, that just like to hang out and listen to us just talk about some of the stupidest shit. I mean,
well, we got to let
how
the
many-
chili
how many-
beans, no beans set for about 6 months, and then we can fire that one back up.
yeah, but how many channels do you know that aren't food focused channels talk about food for 2.5 hours.
That was actually pretty funny. And I was hungry that night too, and it just made it worse. And then Charles is telling me all these places around me that are open 24/7, and I'm outside of my
Not helping,
eating
Charles.
window.
Not helping, Charles.
Yeah, it wasn't helping at all. Thank you. You know, because I've been fasting and I've got a small window, and it's like, Mom, my window's closed. I'm not going to go eat. Damn you, Charles.
Nice. So,
No.
well, we're getting close to that 2-hour mark. Saturdays we'll just
So we're
keep
almost
on
halfway
going.
done, is what you're saying.
No, not on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Because dude's got to get up and go to work in the morning.
Yeah, so do I.
But Saturdays, I'm liking Saturdays. I'm liking doing this. I'm like doing the shows on Saturdays. So we're going to continue doing that. Hopefully, we'll like I said, I'll figure out what I'm going to paint this coming week, and then we'll probably end up. We didn't end up talking about food this time around, but we probably will on Saturday. So we got that looking for us. So, but guys, like I said, I think we hit 22 viewers on a peak tonight, which may be the most we've ever had at one time. So
That's awesome.
I want to thank you one and all. I thank Jester for pointing everybody our direction. Hopefully next week we'll have a big group also when he tells everybody this Saturday that they're going to be on, and we're gonna have the full War Room crew. We will have Jester and Tony, and Ruff is going to stay up late or get up early, whichever he sees fit.
That's
and is
awesome.
going to be with us. So anyway, Meandering Mike, thank you for joining us. For those that are watching after the fact, if you do not already subscribe to Meandering Mike, go check him out. He's got some great stuff.
Mhm.
Meandering Mike's Man Cave. Look it up. You won't be disappointed.
Search for that handle and it'll go right there. Bam.
Yep. Hissy Cat.
.com/that.
Yep. Hissy Cat Studios and Hissy Cat Builds. Another two great channels. The Wardrobe plays World War II. He was in the chat earlier. He's on the show from time to time with me. Hex to Hex. I hadn't seen him come on for a while, but he came on tonight. Go check him out. If you like World War II or East Front World War II or Civil War, Hex Encounter, go check him out. He's got some great stuff.
Does
His
Hexy
videos
paint
are
at
amazing.
all?
What's that?
Does Hexy paint at all?
He does occasionally when he decides to pull everything out of the closet.
During the marathon, April 1st, he could paint some counters for his Hex
Yeah,
Encounter
there you
game.
There you go. Yeah, definitely check out the Postcard Jam
Yep.
that Hissy Cat's got going. Definitely. And then check out Mini Warmut. If you want to see some really great upcycled terrain. I hate the term
Definitely.
trash terrain. I love upcycled terrain. You want to see Zombicide?
He's
A
your
lot
man.
of Zombicide. Go check out.
We got to get another game going with him. That was fun.
Yeah, we do.
I just need you guys to participate and not rely on me.
I did participate.
Yeah, you watched and encouraged. I killed.
No, dude, my chickie poo
Hey,
went out.
all I know is when everybody died, they were all level 1. I was like level 12.
No, I wasn't level 1.
Okay, 2.
Whatever. So, all right, guys.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, again, thanks everybody. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for 2 amazing years. Here's for a whole lot more. Remember, next Wednesday night we do have the War Room coming on with us. So, all right, guys. And as always, excuse me, we will see you on the flip side.